Why would you ask an out of shape person advice on how to get in shape or how to get healthy? Hello, hello. Welcome to Healthy Systems Podcast. Today's healthy system is what we call the crabs in a bucket mentality. So all of us know that we are the average of 5 people we hang out with. We all know that. Everybody talks about it. It makes so much sense. And then we go around and we hang out with losers, right? We all have people like that, and we tolerate that oftentimes. And this came up this week as I was coaching some clients, and there was one person in particular. That person actually was not a client just yet, and they really wanted to work with us, but they needed validation before they made that decision. They needed validation from all these other people in their life. And one thing as a coach that I'm always really curious about when I talk to people is, especially those that want to get in shape and they have these amazing dreams. They want to lose 50 pounds. They want to get healthy. They want to have more energy. They want to be able to do hikes, and they want to be able to just go for a 2-mile run. They want to be able to do all these things. So I often ask them, I'm like, are you married? They say, yeah. I'm like, is your spouse in shape? And they often tell me it's almost like they've never been asked that question. So they often think, and then they're like, yeah, they're not. I'm like, they're not in shape. They're like, no. And then I'm like, okay, we move on to the next question. And then I get to know them better about any health problems they might have had or any injuries I should know about, etc. But at the end of the call, then they tell me that, hey, I need to go talk to my spouse before I make a decision. And to be honest with you, I know a lot of coaches are like, no, you have to make a decision right now. I'm totally for it. I'm like, yeah, bring your spouse on board, because I've coached a lot of people and I've been doing this for 7+ years. And what I've seen is, like, I want your family support. I want them to feel like, yes, we're all getting healthy, because that way you're going to get a better transformation versus you just trying to do it on your low corner there and nobody supports you. Your days are numbered that way. So they ask me, they're like, yeah, I'm going to go talk to my spouse. And then they say, I'm also going to go talk to my mom. I'm like, okay. Are you also going to go talk to your dog and your cat like everybody else? And I say that jokingly, but it's true, because first they tell me that those people themselves are not in shape. So then why are we asking them for their validation? And 100% of the time, actually 99.9% of the time, there's some exceptions, but 99.9% of the time, that person messages me the next day and they say, yeah, my husband said no. He said, you already know how to get healthy. Or my wife said, no, you already know how to get healthy. And I'm like, you haven't done a single workout in 4 years. You eat fast food for lunch every day. If you knew of a better way, you would have done it by now, because you don't like where you're at. So perhaps getting some help is the natural option here, the most logical option. But no, right? You're seeking validation from people that are unhealthy to begin with. They are not where you want to be. So why would you ask a homeless person advice on how to get rich? Why would you ask an out of shape person advice on how to get in shape or how to get healthy? Why? Like, it makes no logical sense. Why would you ask a person with no kids and ask them for parenting advice? Doesn't make any sense, right? Why would you ask somebody that never went to college and ask them, like, hey man, like, do you have any tips? I'm going to college next month. Do you have any tips for me? What do you think they'll tell you, right? And that's the whole crabs in a bucket mentality. And it's a very strong mentality that's seen all across animal kingdom, right? Humans and animals alike. And the mentality is well known, and it basically describes the behavior of crabs, that when they're placed in a bucket, as one crab tries to climb out, the others pull it back down, ultimately preventing any of them from escaping. So this concept is a metaphor for human behavior, which means that other people around you will try to bring you down, especially if they're not where you want to be. And that's something we all know intuitively, but when we're living it, we don't realize it, right? I think a while back I did an episode on healthy systems on Robert Greene's law number 10, which said, avoid the unhappy and unlucky. It's the whole crabs in the bucket mentality again. The people you're around, if they're unhappy, if they're unlucky, if they're unhealthy, why do you think they'll give you like, what, you're expecting them to come save you? Hell no. So at times you have to be willing to walk away from relationships. You also have to be willing to have the courage to make your own decision, because they are not where you want to be. Why would you ask somebody who owns a little small business that makes $50,000 in revenue, why would you ask them to show you how to become a millionaire? They clearly haven't figured it out. So why go to them for advice, right? And the same thing happens all across. And this crab in a bucket mentality, especially let's say when a spouse is trying to get healthy, when a wife is trying to get healthy, when a husband is trying to get healthy, and the other significant other is not healthy, crabs in a bucket mentality means we drag each other down. We pull the other person down who's trying to escape. We bring the other crab down. It's like, how dare you want to escape, right? Why not stay the same? Why we are comfortable now? Let's just stay comfortable. But the price of comfort, the price of the easy choices today means hard life tomorrow. And most people don't realize that, right? So oftentimes, if you are somebody who dreams for greatness, you have dreams of wanting to be better in your health, in your wealth, in your relationships, why are you around crabs that are dragging you down, right? Because the price, you're going to pay the sacrifice one way or another. Greatness has a cost to it. Dreams come with a price. And if you don't pay the price, you are not going to achieve that dream. Plain and simple. Nature is simple like that. You pay the price, you will get the reward. You don't pay the price, you will not get the reward. It's very simple. So at the end of the day, you have to really face your mortality even and look back and be like, man, if I don't achieve this goal, would I be proud of myself at the end of my life? And the answer is no, then we pay the price. And the price might be that we do the action despite what those people are telling us around us. I've been told so many times in my life to not do certain things, and all of those things turned out amazing. And they were actually good for me. But the people in my life, when I was starting even my fitness coaching business like 7, 8, 9 years ago, one of my best friends at the time used to make fun of me. So guess what I did? I cut him out. By cutting him out, boom, I was able to just stay focused. And to be honest with you, he was my friend back then. Now we don't even talk. Because that's how how much it mattered to him. It didn't really matter to him. He was just used to making fun of things. He never did anything of his own. So it was uncomfortable just seeing me thrive in it. So he had to shut me down. And those type of people exist. And it's not like they're evil people. It's just that we need to know when to distance ourselves from them. Right? So at the end of the day, when you're trying to get in shape, when you're trying to make more money, when you're trying to start a business, why are you going to other employees and asking them for their advice? Employees are going to be employees. Business owners are going to be business owners. Healthy people are going to be healthy. Unhealthy people are going to be unhealthy. And I'll leave you with one very killer example related to health, because I deal with this every day. Have you ever seen two unhealthy, overweight people, parents? Husband is out of shape, wife is out of shape. Have you ever seen them with a healthy kid, a kid that's genetically gifted, a kid that's just running around being healthy? It's very rare, right? It's very, very rare. And almost 9 times out of 10, if the parents are unhealthy, you can almost predict that the kid is going to be fat and overweight and unhealthy as well. It's very, very likely, right? Same thing with partners. So I've never seen a in shape and very healthy husband have an out of shape, overweight wife. Same thing the other way around, right? I've never seen a very healthy, in shape, runner physique, like just an amazing, healthy body wife have an out of shape, fat husband. Because sooner or later, they have to make decisions, right? But one thing I do see commonly is when you get married, when you're in a relationship, for example, if one partner is healthy and the other is not healthy, one of you are going to rub off on each other. One of you is going to win. So either the healthy person is going to make the other person healthy, or the unhealthy one will drag the healthy person down and make them unhealthy. So you have to almost be on the watch. You have to be on a defensive mode when you're around certain people, certain situations, right? Because they will drag you down to their level, whatever that is. It's crabs in the bucket mentality. It's so real. You might argue with me over it. You might be like, "Mo, it's not true. It's not true. All my friends are there and I'm happy." And it's yeah, great. Are you achieving all your goals? Yeah, you're probably paused at that moment when I ask you that, right? Because you're probably not. So at the end of the day, even when picking a spouse, make sure they have those values aligned with you when it comes to health, wealth, and relationships, right? When you're hanging out with friends, the older you get, the best part is you get to be intentional with friends. You get to be you get to deliberately pick your friends. When we're in college, high school, middle school, friends are kind of it's just we have all the same classes, so now we're friends. But as you grow up in life, you realize now you get to pick your friends. And some people don't do any thinking on who they hang out with, who their friend is, and all of it, right? You might not even realize it. But as you share your dreams with people, as you share your goals with people, they might be shooting you down. They might be putting doubts in you, especially at a point when you literally have no reason to worry. You should just try it, spend some money, and see if it works out, right? Versus people installing doubts in you because they don't want you to leave the fucking bucket. You have to remember that. You leaving the bucket means they have failed in their own life. Remember that. There are two types of people. One type of person gets inspired when you do great things, but majority of the people actually feel envy and jealousy when you do great things. So at the end of the day, make sure to be aware of who you're sharing your dreams with. Not every person is going to support you. Some will even drag you down. Crabs in the bucket. So at times, keep your goals to yourself or share them with me because I'm your coach. But at the end of the day, keep your goals to yourself and make sure you hang out with people that have the same results as you. Because if they don't, they're going to drag you down. Imagine you are a crab in that bucket and you're trying to climb out because you want to see the sunrise. You want to see the sunshine. You want to get out there because all you see right now is the bucket. This the steel wall of that bucket. That's all you see. And you want to get out. And the crazy thing is, you totally can. So imagine in those days, you come across an other crab, right? This other crab who's actually escaped. And that crab gets to see the sunrise every morning. Now that crab, do you think that crab will support you escaping the bucket or no? He will likely support you. He'll be like, yes, come on in. It's so awesome out there. But the other crabs that you're currently around, the ones that are stuck in the bucket, they'll tell you that the other crab is bad. The other crab must have done something criminal, right? But the thing is, you have to take the chance and be like, no, the other crab is a good human being. I can think for myself and I can decide for myself. And the decision I'm making is I want to see the sunrise and I think it's worth it out there instead of my whole life cannot be stuck in this little bucket. I'm going to make it out and I'm going to make it big. Okay? So hopefully that helps. I'll see you guys in the next one. Just don't be a crab in the bucket and only seek advice, validation from people who are where you want to be. Until next time, I'll see you guys then. Thank you for listening to the Healthy Systems podcast. I really appreciate you for tuning in today. Now, here are 2 ways I can help you for free. One, you can join our free Facebook community by just going to this link, bit.ly/Titan Facebook group. Just type that into your browser and then answer 2 questions, and then we'll let you into our Facebook community where you'll meet other people, as well as we have a lot of free resources in terms of meal plans, workouts, all kinds of stuff in there. Second way I can help you for free is if you follow me on Instagram at Mo Gaius, M-O-E-G as in George, H as in horse, I as in India, A as in apple, S as in Sam. Follow me there and then shoot me a message with the word Healthy Systems, and then I'll be sure to send you a free gift. Other than that, keep listening in and I really appreciate you.